スタジオ3万
Hi folks, it's your OG host Wes here, closing off the season of Chester Pridecast, all things Pride and beyond. Today it's just family, catching up and spilling the tea, so come and join us for the final time this season. Before we begin, we'd just like to say the following content may contain strong language and adult material that may not be suitable for all audiences, so your discretion is advised. Any views or advice expressed on this podcast are the views of Chester Pridecast and do not necessarily represent the views and the opinions of Chester Pride.
Hi and welcome back to Chester Pridecast. Thank you, Wes, for that wonderful introduction. For people who may not know, this week's episode is the last in the season, but it is also the first time that we are filming it. So if you want to put faces to the voices, if you're into that kind of thing, then go and check us out on YouTube. We'll put the links in the post and also on this recording. So, Wes?
It'll be on the main Chester Pride YouTube channel.
Oh, wow.
That's all official.
We've made it.
Fuck off, loose women.
No, you're just loose woman.
Slack glasses.
The fisted
So how are we? Moving on. Jesus Christ.
Oh, don't say that, set fire.
So how are we all?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Why do you look at me when you say that?
Just because
you look ill.
Something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
I'm fine, thank you. It's been a very busy day. Have you been?
Well, I've been with Carla all day, so I know how she is.
You work together and then come here.
Everyone
So
Yeah,
here
literally.
doesn't know, do they, sir?
How are you? How are you?
Oh, that's good to me. How are you? You can do an accent.
are
How
you?
are you?
I'm good. It's been a busy day.
It has been a busy day. How are you, Diana?
Tired.
Tired.
You're a working girl,
I
aren't you?
know.
She's a working girl.
It's the lady of the night.
Hey, you still got a little mark there.
Yeah, literally. Let me just do a hard swallow.
So yeah, sorry.
I'm fine.
I was going to say, we
Jesus,
get asked
please
anybody.
don't get asked. Do you know what? I don't even
Fuck
want to talk
you.
about it now. No, that's me then. That's me.
Baby.
You've ruined the episode for me.
How are you?
No, don't talk about it now. It's fine.
Drama.
Patronise me.
Jesus.
TJ, how are you?
IBS is playing up again.
I thought it was a computer.
But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about Wanda's birthday. That's been recently.
Yes.
So for those of you that don't know, Wanda White is our resident drag queen in Chester. It was recently her 20th birthday. There was a couple of us there hosting along and behind the scenes.
Yes.
I remember breastfeeding.
I just love how Andrew's just like, of course, I was there.
That's right. I'm the one from the roast. The comedy roast, nothing else.
That was later.
That was behind the scenes.
He was loaded.
He was there.
And also, TJ, you did some fantastic.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
See, I was managing the event.
I was doing it. I was shitting myself. I mean, no surprise.
So it's actually not a trick then, is it not?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's gone wrong before. That was the first time I've done it in 6 years.
I seen him like flinching.
Is that why you limp?
That's not why I learned.
The thing is, I was hosting, well, not hosting, but I was like organising the event, and I was nervous about the whole thing because it was my first proper fundraiser. And thank God for him, because he made me nervous more than the whole show did.
Cancelled it out.
In one, yeah. So yeah, as soon as his bit was done, I was just like, I can relax now.
Well, I had one of the other directors of Pride come up to me and go, "What's this about staple guns and fire?" I went, "Yeah, it's fine." Wait, I'll sign the form, it's okay.
It's done now.
What's going to happen? I went, we're not liable. Literally, it's fine, don't worry about
You
it.
say that, you didn't even read the paper.
I did.
Yeah, we want to do this.
So you could get injured. Okay.
Well, it's funny because she came up to me, she was like, what if he gets a staple in the eye? And I went, well, he'll get a staple in the eye then.
Not
A&E's
much you
down
can
the
do.
road. Fuck out.
We had a Medicon site.
Yeah, it's fine.
Spoiler alert, you didn't.
I didn't. No, I've still got both my eyes. Well,
he
they
still
can't
got
see.
his
They,
eyes.
I'm going to say they can only see one. No,
It has no legs, but it is.
So that's the first time you've done it in 6 years.
yeah.
Has that gone wrong before then?
Yeah, so when I did it
Where
6
have you
years
had
ago,
a staple?
I got a scar here on my hand and then 2 on my chest from it going wrong.
Oh my god.
So it went wrong 3 times.
Yeah.
So what
Statistically, that's not too
what was the act with the stapler?
So it's Russian roulette, 5 guns, one of them's loaded. They're all mixed up. Names.
Staple guns.
4
not
get.
guns.
Yeah, not real guns. But they wouldn't trust me without.
Jesus Christ, it's not Birkenhead.
I did get a
From
job
Borders.
offer though after that, a weird one. Somebody messaged me asking me to work in Aylesbury to do some fire breathing, and they said we'll pay you $6,000 an hour if you do it naked.
so
I'm getting my knob out.
yeah.
You're off there soon. Then.
I'll be leaving in a minute. Yeah,
Do you need a lift up there?
I'm gonna do it.
It's a very particular client.
A warm hand.
Could you
Cold
sit on it again? I'll do it for $5,000 and I wear a tiny, tiny thong.
That'll probably work better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Just say to everyone, I can't do it naked due to health and safety. I have to have some kind of protection, but I will do it for $5,000 and I'll wear some sort of,
Some sort of.
loincloth.
Just wear a drop with a cup in it. You'll be
That's
fine.
good idea.
No, I will not go the whole. I was going to say 9 yards, but it's not that big. I'll,
The whole 1 yard.
Okay,
It was a
well,
great event though.
it was a really good event, to be fair. And
Especially the nakedness.
we raised quite a bit of money, which is good.
Yep. And it was my first time being on stage performing comedy.
you were so funny.
It was
Thank
really
you.
good.
I did forget a couple of jokes. I got to a point where I got actually quite nervous. I lost my place. There's one point.
Well, yeah, I think everyone did though, didn't
What else
they?
am I going to slag her off for? But somebody,
Just like looking at her going, you
Yeah.
beast.
and some of it, in all fairness, wasn't scripted. Like the back and forth with Annabelle.
Yeah.
And the jokes that I did about Danny C. Hi, Danny C. Were literally
Still
5
bad.
minutes before. Still bad. 5 minutes before it went on, I quickly wrote those jokes about him. He writes himself. He wore a T-shirt that said "I'm the boss." I'm like, dress for the job you want, 100%. He writes himself, but it's really lovely, nice.
It was a good variety of
Excellent.
acts as well.
Yes.
So we will definitely be doing a couple more shows like that in the future.
Well, we said there's going to be loads more coming up. That
Yes,
didn't we?
yes.
So.
I'm not doing Wonders 40th.
Jesus
Any
Christ.
reveals?
Should be like that coming onto the stage.
Reveals.
Anything with veal.
Reveal, that's my accent, love. Have you got any reveals at all? This is the last episode. Can we reveal anything about Pride Scene that you are?
Oh, I wanted you to. I just ripped
Not back to
it.
this naked fire breathing again.
At the moment, no. Simply because the next month more will be revealed. We are still working on things.
We've got things, but not yet.
Yes. So if we can go public, we will go public. And then obviously we'll cover it as well in the podcast.
Of
So
course, of course.
Look forward to that.
But yes,
Watch this space.
yes, we've got a few things to cover at the end of the podcast. But as always,
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
well, I'll do that if I want. It's visual now.
It's also audio.
Yeah, we'll go over some of the curious cats that we've got. So there's been a couple that we've missed over the last couple of episodes. So I have just put them all into the last episode.
Yeah, why not?
No,
Pick a
yeah.
mix.
This one's a big
Yeah,
one.
this
Should have a little roulette wheel.
it's a little
Yeah.
spin the wheel of fortune of confessions.
That's an idea for next year. No, we're going to be visual.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I've got a wheel of
We'll
fortune.
have him tied to it and we'll throw things
Wait, what are you throwing at me?
He's got to be naked as
wherever
well.
it hits.
Yeah.
The
Confession.
tie part didn't bother you. The having things thrown at you. And
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll start with the first curious cat. So it is a bit of a long one. So whoever sent it in, thank you. So it goes story time. We've all been through a time where we're, let's say, experimenting on Grindr, right? So I came out of a 6-year heterosexual relationship, and after a few months, I thought I'd experiment.
Is this you?
It's really not me.
It just sounded very.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's rolling off the tongue, this one.
Yeah, there's nothing like actually written here.
so easily from your lips.
It's not even a real iPad. It's a placemat. What are you doing?
Yeah, with iPad on the back.
Stickers?
Stickers, yeah.
So met a few lads, some good, some I'd rather forget about.
Oh.
However, there was this one man who I used to meet at his house in my hometown. He explained he was single and lived with other people. I met him a few times and we had fun. One time we were in his living room doing the deed, nookie nookie, and the front door slammed. He told me to quickly go and get my clothes on and ran outside to greet his so-called housemate. He then
His wife. Wife!
So is wife.
No
Always
spoilers,
wife.
no spoilers.
Then he came in with a lady
Been there,
who
right?
turned
Yeah.
out to be his wife. Yep.
Dun, dun.
Is this a misconnection of mine from last week?
He explained to his wife that I was a young lad looking for work, and he was seeing if I could possibly do some gardening. He explained to me that he and his wife didn't want a gardener, thanked me, and sent me on my way. Well, I was livid. I think back now and feel like I should have said something.
Yeah.
However, it's not my place to out this man who is obviously unhappy. What would you do? Well, what should he
No, I don't
or they
feel
should
sorry
have
for
done?
him.
No.
No,
No.
don't feel sorry
You
for him.
know what
He
you're
chose-
doing.
He chose to do that.
Yeah,
so-
but then again, it doesn't sound like he knows that he was meeting a married man.
No.
That's what I mean.
Grindr.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's
You know
what
what I
I
mean?
mean.
On
Don't
somebody's
feel sorry
house
for the
and-
married man. It seems like they're like on the fence about
I've
like
come up with a point.
telling the wife. I just tell her.
Yeah.
God, you were seriously. I've said this. You
No.
are a cold
Episode
heart.
one, yeah. You were dead quiet, episode one, and now you're just like, no,
Kill him. Hang him. Don't ever come to court
Fuck
if you
them,
get
tell them. Burn their stuff.
Yeah, bury the witch. No.
Christ, Carla.
I think because it's annoyed them. So I would have just told her.
So you'd have just like marched back in and be like, bitch,
She would have
this
never
man.
marched
No,
out.
like post a letter for a letterbox or something.
It looks like you've got paper and a pen after a hookup.
You would have been like, love,
Cutting
pull
those
yourself
little
up.
letters out on magazines.
With all your eyes
Stick
about
in
little
them on.
hearts up.
From a magazine. Just like,
So what's the point you said you had?
Oh, right. Because he didn't say, like, before the guy came round that he was married, I would say if you're gonna not disclose that, you don't know what the person coming round is gonna feel about that kind of situation. So I'd be like, I mean, he's fully within his rights to just
out him.
immediately.
Yeah.
So if you're not gonna disclose...
Because
Yeah,
this person who's
This
writing
is
the story doesn't
yeah.
seem like to be the dishonest one.
No.
No.
No, absolutely not. But I think the issue is the case of flip it round. This person is probably struggling with their sexuality and experimenting. And then if you're in that situation and you got caught and you panicked and you said something that, and then somebody outs you, that's going to, the damage that's going to do to you as a person.
Yeah.
And then actually probably put you back quite a lot in order to be able to come out and then not trust people.
Yeah.
I completely get where you're coming from, but if you look at it the other way...
Carla's just like,
You've got the wife as well, and the wife is the one that's being cheated on.
Yeah.
So about her feelings
Exactly,
and her
it's
things. And
tricky.
I'm not married to her.
see, I've been in this situation.
Knew it was you.
you were the wife.
It's not me.
The wife.
I swear, it's not me. I wouldn't plant a curious cat. But no, I went round to a friend's house, and his housemate thought him to be straight because he had a girlfriend that I found out later. But I was he said, run into the bathroom to get dressed. And he was like meeting his friend in the living room. And he was just like, right, so we need this shower fixed. What parts do we need? And I'm like, I don't know anything to do with that being a plumber. So we'll need an X valve or something or nothing.
Do some tongue and groove.
Oh,
I'll give you a quote in the week, and I went out laughing because it was just so funny to me.
See, on the other side of it,
It's like role-playing, really.
the attendee, not the host, he said, I've explained that I don't want any gardening. He said, but I've just cut your lawn, so I feel like you should pay me. I just trimmed your bush, so I pay me. It all sounds very, very sort of like Spanish telenovela. Was it? Telenovela, yeah, and it's sort of like, very, very like...
Drama.
Yeah.
Smash
Scandalo.
But also, as the wife, be like, does he even look like a gardener? His nails are far too clean.
He's in a very clean tracksuit.
And also, we flagstoned that garden.
It's tarmac and flag.
We don't have a garden, we have decking.
Oh my god.
We don't have
Potty
a garden.
plants, maybe.
On the
Top floor flat. Yes, so I think we're all in agreement to maybe just
Out
let the...
it.
No,
Well,
we're very divided on this.
Yes,
It's
we are.
clear
Wants
divide
to
on
write
the
a
table.
letter.
like writing a novel to the wife.
No, I get
It's Will Kent, isn't
Andrew's
it?
point. No, I do get Andrew's point. Because
Yeah,
because if they're not happy and they're not
You've changed your tune, haven't you?
no, if they're not happy and then they're experimenting because they're not sure, then it makes sense what they're doing. But the fact that they lied.
Yeah.
Cheating is cheating.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people.
See,
that are
well, this is it on
people.
Grindr. You've got guys that are like
Isn't there? There's
discreet
plenty of
because
people
I've
that
got
are
this situation going on, and loads of people will go, no, don't want that kind of drama.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
But be upfront with the person
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like
You should
involved
always
in with.
say.
Yeah.
But I do think straight people are allowed on Grindr.
Yeah.
They are allowed. Well,
I think-
how can you get it? I'm gay. Therefore not.
It's hard to test straight.
I saw
Gay
this
chicken
thing.
before you get
A
on.
straight person was on Grindr and was messaging people and saying, like, if you're lactose intolerant, doesn't mean you can't walk down the dairy aisle.
Wow.
So that should mean that straight people should be allowed to go on Grindr to see who's gay.
I have a friend who's actually lactose intolerant, and
That's very
they'll
offensive.
find that offensive.
I don't care.
TJ's been cancelled.
It's a funny one.
We're never going to agree on
No.
this.
Ask the Pope.
Okay, so our next one is a little more serious, but obviously still as valid. I'm a transgender female to male trans person, and my parents are religious and don't like the idea. I don't want to get into arguments with them, but I want to be able to live as me. What do I do?
I'll say Jesus turned water into wine, so get fucking with it.
I don't think that's going to work.
That's true. Because everyone needs to go down the religious. Well, go down the religious thing.
Yeah.
It's
I think
transformations everywhere.
regardless of which side of transgender you are, I think it's a very big thing, especially even if they're not religious, just parents in general.
Yeah.
I think in this position now, I don't know.
Every parent, no matter whatever, they always have an idea of what they think their child's life is going to be. It's just
Yeah.
natural. So when it's really very, very far removed from what they originally started off with, what they thought, then obviously there's going to be a shake-up and everything.
See, I don't want to say that because it's religion, that's what's really
that's what
holding
that is
it
saying,
up. Yeah,
isn't
it is. But I don't want to say that religious people are so biased.
Not
But-
all religious people.
No.
No.
They're not, but the problem
But it
is...
seems like these are,
Yeah,
so-
but I think the thing is when you do get a religious belief, it's very deep set, it's ingrained, and most religions are based on fear and things like that anyway, so it's going to be hitting a lot of emotional issues. So I think people that do have a religious background actually have a harder deal with it than just someone without a religious background, because you've got a whole community then.
Yeah.
behind it.
Well,
Yeah.
this leads on to what I think they should do. So obviously, it's going to be a lot of time before
Yeah.
the parents can be tackled.
Yeah.
Maybe find another family. I know because like
definitely.
the LGBT community as a whole, a lot of us do find a second family.
There's so many groups that you can
Yeah,
go to that
exactly.
give people
Yeah.
help and shelters.
So
and
find that support there first before you think actually.
Well, maybe they do have some, but it's so beneficial for young trans people to be surrounded by other queer people as well, because nobody else gets it like people in the queer community, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
Do you think? I think my thing is on this as well is like the argument, unfortunately, is inevitable.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
that's
it's
it.
gonna happen.
It's going to happen,
Yes,
isn't
yeah.
it?
It's
And-
unavoidable.
And I think actually having the support network and the group of people that you have somewhere to go to say, "Fuck, this happened," and then
Yeah.
this was said and that was said, and I wish.
Or
I
even
said
a
this.
place to go after the argument.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That I think that's
Mate,
a key factor.
Go stay with a friend.
Yeah, because
Even.
it's inevitable. I know you don't want to argue, but it's gonna happen.
I suppose it depends. Again, it all depends about how far along you are. Coming to terms with yourself, because we all go through either a coming out process,
Yeah.
whether it's trans or not, or whether it's sexual identity or whether it's gender identity.
Yeah.
You've all got different stages that you go through, and the thing is, the first one is obviously yourself. Then you've got to then find someone, whether it's within family or a friend, you can then share it. Then, because I know we're saying like, oh yeah, go to another family, but if you haven't got that family to begin with, where do we look? Where do these people look?
Well, that's what we're saying
would you
about,
say?
about
Yeah.
finding your when Wes means find another family. It's like you've turned around and you've said about in previous episodes that you don't believe in blood family.
Yeah.
You believe in the family
Exactly.
correct for yourselves. So that's what I think. That's what obviously that's what
So
you're saying.
how would we advise? How can we advise our
Groups.
people out there? Yeah.
There are groups available.
There's-
You're the first person
No,
to
exactly.
probably be experiencing this.
Yeah.
But then
I
there
think
are
time
some.
though, because the parents are going to need a lot of time to
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
about
Big
it and
time.
understand
Yeah.
it. Because if you think about this individual, has had probably years to come to terms with all of this,
Yeah.
whereas their parents are just expected to pick it up in a second. It's
And
like
I-
give them more than that.
And I think that's a big thing. I think as queer people, we do come to terms with it.
Quickly.
Well, we have a lot
We-
longer
we-
to come to terms with
and then in an instant, we tell parents, we tell people, they don't give the reaction we are hoping for, and then we sort of like punish them almost slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Because you're so frustrated at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
situation. You're like, why don't they understand?
But we've had longer to
But,
process it.
yeah.
Give them a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Give them a chance.
Well, it's like with
and the
my-
argument could result in actually truths being told and myth busting with them. Actually, you know, they could have this completely
Wrong idea.
completely wrong idea, completely.
It's all
crappy
about
opinion.
education then, isn't it?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think, like with my coming out, because I again had a lot longer to process it than myself. So when my parents found out, one parent was more on board than the other, and it was a case of, look, if you don't come to terms with this, because it's there, it's happened now.
Yeah.
If you don't come to terms with it, you're going to lose that relationship
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
your child. So what's more valuable, your values, your religious views, or your child?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if it is the case that it is the latter, then, like I said, that having that family, you've got them as a support network
Exactly.
then. Okay, so we'll go on to the next
It's
one.
been helpful.
For a change, yeah.
I know that's like the first one that we've properly answered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, it's not.
But yeah, next
I would
one.
say as a closer on that, like
go on then, yeah.
my mom is a born again Christian. She was like hugely religious when she was younger and stuff. But it just takes, like you were saying, it just takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes them
And it's
getting
it's
used
like
to
you
it.
said, like give the parents that time to process it.
Yeah.
Because it could take weeks, it could take years even.
Yeah.
You've just got to have that patience.
It's a journey.
It is a journey.
But you're not on your own. That's the most important
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
Especially this day and age. Thank the gods that we're
And-
so many support networks out there.
Yeah, and I think if this person does want to reach out, you can always reach out to Just Ask at Chester Pride.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that's plug.
He's plugged. Anyway, next one.
Wow.
Hi guys, straight to the point. I think my partner is cheating on me. He's always late from work and uninterested in sex. How do I approach him without causing a scene?
Is their partner pretending to be a gardener and sleeping with Mike?
Yeah, is your partner randomly interviewing people for hat jobs around? Did your partner put an advert in for a stable boy? You don't have a stable.
Or a horse.
Okay, I mean there must be more evidence than getting home late from work
Yeah.
and not being uninterested in sex.
Well,
Okay, let's think about it. Right, so they're getting in from late from work. Has workload increased? Has work pressure got on? Are they stressed at work, having to do longer hours because they're short-staffed? And then it's a case of they're not interested in sex because they're stressed and tired.
Yeah.
That's-
So is
yeah.
there more
well,
to
that's
this?
it. Yeah, they could not be cheating at all.
Just jump into
Well, yeah,
it.
actually
Yeah.
it's not making a scene. Don't accuse them. Just basically ask them, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you've been late back from work a few times, and just have the, conversation. Personally, well, I think this person's slightly paranoid, so I won't call you out.
You call it about.
No, it does sound
So
like
paranoid.
It's not always cheating. Yeah, that's what people always have a tendency of jumping
They go
on
straight
that.
to
They go
cheating,
straight to
yeah.
that thing because obviously
Could be a serial killer.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So you
Help burying in the garden.
Every cloud. Oh, thank God he's not cheating on me. But yeah, he has killed 6 people in the past year.
Okay, well then, yeah. So ask more questions, but approach it a little more diplomatically.
Yeah,
or-
if you approach it in like a helpful way, like actually.
But what if they are actually cheating?
Yeah.
Well,
kick into the curb or become throuple.
Wow.
yeah.
that's that one.
One or the other.
Let's go to Carla then. Send him a letter with little tiny letters cut out.
get Kyle to write a letter.
if you would like Carla to terrorise your ex,
No,
Get in touch.
We're not doing that. Viewers.
Wow.
Think of the admin of actually having to offer that service.
The effort.
Stenographer over there. It'd be tapping.
So what we're saying,
I don't know.
I don't even think we
to
helped
them.
at all.
Speak to Kyla.
Speak to them, be nice,
yeah.
see if there's anything going on.
And don't just
Ask if
accuse
they
them
want
of
to be
cheating.
into a throuple or burn their stuff.
Yeah.
3 options.
That's
Great.
I would say also, if you're trying to gauge whether there's like infidelity in a relationship, say like they said they're not interested in having sex right now, you can still like be intimate and close.
Yeah, well, we've had this discussion before, haven't we, about like sides and people who are.
Oh no, I mean like
No, I know, but I mean
I know
like
what you're
Not even
saying,
yeah.
sexually, it can be
have
like
they-
Exactly, yeah.
emotional.
yeah, has the intimacy gone?
Yeah.
Are you holding hands? Are you still kissing? Are you still sitting close together?
Yeah.
Or do you feel that they're very, very distant from you? That's a really good point.
because you
Yeah.
can tell in like micro interactions.
Well,
with
if you know
somebody.
them that well, you know exactly when they change as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, trust your
Trust your guts.
instincts a bit on that.
Unless you're paranoid.
Unless you're paranoid. Then you need to get help.
They also could be a serial killer.
Yeah.
Don't
Hopefully.
Never rule that out.
Okay, well, we'll move on to our news segment. So we've got 2 news items. So I'll start, and then Andrew's going to take one. So today, take one for the team.
Read something from the news.
So today, Gallup, an anti-abuse charity, launches the UK's first ever LGBT plus rape and sexual abuse helpline.
Fantastic.
So their tagline there is, everyone should have somewhere they can turn to for support without worry or fear. So we'll put the number and their email address on our socials as well, because I think it's really important to
On the
highlight
bottom of the
them.
screen.
On the
It's on
bottom of the
video.
screen. So producer Dan, he's filming behind us. We'll do that. Thank you very much. But yeah, I think that's. I mean, we've got Just Asking Chester, which obviously covers a lot of, well, just a wide spectrum of things. But it's good that this is something that's very.
It's specific.
Yeah, that they'll have support and.
So I think as well to remember, if anybody's ever in the situation that they have been sexually assaulted and they are ready to disclose, attending a sexual health clinic is the first port of call as well, because they will be able to talk you through this is what happens next. They can assess you if you need PEP, if you need hepatitis vaccinations, and also can talk you through speaking
Next
to the
steps,
police
yeah.
if you're ready to, or referring you on to local services for support as well. So that's also an option as well.
With these sort of things as well, I think it's important for people to actually understand what sexual abuse is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people probably don't think what's happening maybe in a workplace or maybe out on the street is sexual abuse, but it actually is. If you're in a nightclub,
Well,
someone's
any
touched you,
environment
right?
that's like
Yeah.
makes you feel really uncomfortable, that's a form.
So people
as
need to be
well.
aware, and it's not a bad thing to come out and say it and to get that help.
But it's when people are ready to.
Yeah, when you're ready.
Anytime you feel uncomfortable, you should always feel free to be able to stand your ground and say, sorry, I don't like the way I'm being treated. Sorry, I don't like the way you're making me feel. Basically,
And that's it. I mean, I've got a friend, and it's getting quite heavy, but they were sexually abused younger, and it's only until they've gotten older that they've realised actually what happened and think, well, it was years ago, that person's out of my life, but still, I need to still process
And
it.
they can still access support. That's the
Yeah.
thing. It's never too late to report abuse,
Yeah.
sexual or sexual assault, or anything like that. And the big thing, and I've said this to people: no is a full sentence.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Simple as. Slight gear shift. So we're recording this the week of the 6th of February, and this week is HIV Awareness Week. So, quick question around the room: does anybody know what U equals U means?
Unidentified.
Versus untransferable.
Okay, so it means undetectable equals untransmittable.
Well, there we go.
Okay, so basically that means that if somebody who is HIV positive has a suppressed viral load, they cannot pass on HIV.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously we've got amazing things like PrEP, so pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is now free on the NHS. So MSN, men who have sex with men, they can gain access to free PrEP now. Just attend your local sexual health clinic and they'll get all that sorted. There's 2 ways of taking it. Do you know about 2 ways of taking it?
No.
So you have daily, where you take 1 tablet, same time every day, or the other way is called event-based dosing, where you take...
That's afterwards, isn't it?
No,
Or before?
Before, so you take
yeah,
it
it's
ideally
before.
24 hours before you have sex, or a minimum of 2 hours before you have sex.
Who can plan?
I'll be honest.
never
This is
know.
a conversation to have. If you're quite spontaneous with your sex, daily is the way to go.
Yeah.
If you're someone who's very much like
But saying that, if you're like, right, I'm going out, I'm dressing myself up, I'm riding on the tab, just take those tablets as
take
well.
those tablets. So if you're going out on a Friday, take 2 tablets.
If
on the
you
Thursday.
think you look peng-ting,
Well,
Take
it'd
that.
have to
Say
be
that
daily
again.
then, wouldn't it?
So if you look at that, so back into they've actually updated it because the plan was for 90. So it was 90% of all those basically having 90% of the population diagnosed with HIV who are HIV positive, having 90% on treatment who are diagnosed on treatment, and having 90% of those people undetectable. The UK and England actually smashed that.
It's already done it.
It's already done it.
Brilliant.
So it's now 95. We've also smashed that. So it's at the moment, it's 95% of all people who are HIV positive are diagnosed.
Right.
99% of those diagnosed people are on treatment.
Yeah.
And then 97 of those are virally suppressed.
Wow.
So that equates to 91% of people living with HIV in the UK and England are virally suppressed.
that's really
Brilliant.
That's
When you consider where
it
we come
was.
from,
Yeah.
Exactly.
so realistically, actually, moving forward, there's possibilities that HIV would be a situation that's virtually resolved within our lifetime.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's all the work that like the community's put in.
Community's done, the fact that, the preppers had like a massive
Big time.
answer.
Yeah.
There is also PEP, so you mentioned that post.
Yeah.
So you got PrEP, which is pre-exposure, and PEP is post-exposure. So say you're in a situation where you've had sex with somebody, condom split, and you're a bit like, "Ugh." You can either attend a sexual health clinic, or you can attend A&E. If you do that within 72 hours, you can be started on PEP, which is HIV medication, that if you have been exposed to the virus, it's
the morning after pill.
It will
Oh,
greatly,
is it? Like, works
well,
it?
yeah, basically, sort of thing. But it will greatly reduce your risk of being exposed to HIV. It
do
will
they
be
get-
72 hours, so you need to do that though.
Is it like when you take antibiotics and you have to take a round, or they just give you one?
No, you have to take a full month's worth of, of medications.
Well, it's still worth.
Yeah, it's
still
worth
worth.
doing.
It's still worth. I think it's amazing. But do you not think that's also the reason why there's been a rise as well in other
100%.
sexual transmission diseases?
100%.
Because they're
Yeah.
taking the pills. I don't have
I'm
to wear a
on PrEP.
condom.
I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So there's all of a sudden there's a rise in all the other.
But also as well, heterosexual community. Oh,
Yeah.
so right, I can't get pregnant. You
Yeah.
can still get chlamydia, gonorrhea,
Yeah.
etc., my
Yeah.
darling. So it's not just the gays that are responsible for the STI increase.
Exactly.
It's
Well, it's like
everyone.
I think I mentioned years ago. I went to the sexual health clinic, and it was the main, the doctor or whatever consultant, and he said this week alone I've diagnosed 4 people with HIV in Chester. And, yeah, so where even just here where we've come from, and he said only one of those was a gay man.
Yeah.
Well, it's that fake idea that I'm straight, I won't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is still there. It's still there because alas, it was all launched as the gay.
Yeah.
virus.
gay disease.
And I think the thing is, it's like the rates are coming down, because the rate because people are taking PrEP and they are using it, and as a community, we are actually taking more responsibility of our sexual health.
Yeah.
I think we always have had.
So,
I do have a question for you though.
Go on.
I don't know if this is true or not. I heard that if you have HIV and you can transmit it to someone, you're aware of it, and you have sex with someone, is that illegal?
Well, there was a case, wasn't there,
Yeah,
recently
criminal
with a
case.
guy who's I don't know if he's gone to prison for it now, but he knew and he was infecting people for
Yeah.
it.
So that's reckless transmission. So then that is a legal case. However, if you are HIV positive and undetectable, you cannot transmit HIV to somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, so things like PrEP and PEP are not there to protect you against HIV positive people. It's there to protect you against people who haven't been tested in a very long time, who are HIV positive, have a detectable viral load, and don't know that they're positive. And usually what you find is a HIV positive person has more medical input
Yeah,
than any of us around the table.
definitely.
Like, they get seen every 6 months. If something's dodgy in their blood, they get referred, they get this looked into.
Yeah.
It's, honestly, they get regular screening, and they're probably one of the safest people to have.
Well, this
they
is it,
know
like,
what's going on with them.
when I was single, I would get myself checked out regularly, and I'd have guys come up to me going, "Oh, why are you always at the clinic?" I'm like, Because it's the safest thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why are you not at the clinic?
That's the scary bit.
And the good thing with PrEP is it means that basically we dish out 3 months at a time. So every 3 months, we're seeing the same patients come back through for a regular full screening.
Yeah.
So that's then managed to track the STI rates, but also be able to treat when we need to treat if we need to.
That's really
So
good.
HIV testing week. Yep. It's easy to get done. You can order an online testing kit. You can go to a local sexual health clinic. Now it can be done by finger prick.
Yeah.
All it takes is a little prick.
That's his name.
Yeah. But yeah, so get tested, know your status.
And it's free online. You can get one online.
It's always free. All HIV
posted to your
testing
house.
is free.
Yeah.
They send it really quick as well.
Yeah.
Yes. This is my bit.
You're done now. Go away.
Bye.
Well, we are drawing to a close. I do want to just go over kind of our plugs, so to speak. So we have recently launched our TikTok. It's at Chester Pride. It should just come up as Chester Pride Official. But we'll be
going on TikTok. Right?
Yeah. So all these kind of clips that will be going on. But I would also like to almost ask the community really to send in videos so we can post a view. Yeah. So that's my project.
Especially the curious cats.
Yes. Well, this is it. So if you have a question, you can obviously send it and we'll still answer it on TikTok.
You can wear a mask if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, no, they can just send it in and we will video it and video our response because we are, as this is the last episode, we're going to have an extended break now.
Of the season.
If you need any letters writing, Carla will.
Yeah.
She'll write them in blood for you.
Please
It's
don't
fine.
be sending over.
Have we all actually agreed to do a second season of this?
No.
Because I've not had that conversation yet.
Well, that's an exclusive.
On camera, shall we do a show of hands?
Well, that is an exclusive. There will be a season 2.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
So just on that, we were looking at going to weekly episodes to be more. Well,
You really didn't run this by anyone, did you?
this is all me.
It's the weirdest fucking meeting I've ever been in.
Yeah, so cameras down. So guys, no, but we're looking at going weekly. We're going to be adding a couple more hosts. I like the idea of more guest hosts because San Diego last week, brilliant.
Great.
She was very
amazing.
lovely. And more topics, but moreover, I think we would all like people to have more input because this is essentially why we're doing it.
Yeah.
For everyone listening. So if you have topics that you want covering or questions or anything like that,
I'm going live as well sometimes. Aren't I?
yes.
You're not safe to go live.
Well, you skip it. You're skipping.
Jason
That's another thing.
Also,
So we will be organising a live panel. So we'll put those on the socials. So look out
Busy
for
that
Facebook.
I'm a bit busy that day.
You're not
Yeah,
invited
my
that day.
phone's closed.
And yes, we will also be including a lot more special guests because we have been noticed by a couple of people who want to be on the podcast.
That's good.
But there's also there's people that we want to interview as well. So it's all good looking for season 2. So I don't know when it's going to be yet. That's a conversation we'll have off camera. But yeah, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
And to you out there, the viewers, can we just say, like, rate and subscribe?
We've never said that.
We've done once, literally. This is my thing now.
This is your moment. Take
This
it.
is my
Review.
moment.
5 stars, nothing less.
5 stars, yes.
I'll accept a 4, don't worry.
Knowing your standards are terrible. Jesus Christ.
But no, thank you all for taking part of this.
Yeah, it's
This
been
has
alright.
been a
Thank you for
project.
inviting
I can't exactly say we haven't enjoyed it, can we?
And thank you to all our listeners as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been really fun
At times.
at times.
Our studio's moved around a bit.
Oh my god, we're like
That's
literally
really
like
We're
halls.
shapeshifting.
Yeah.
We've had like 4 or 5 studios.
Much prefer here though.
This is nice.
It's at least
Yeah, I like
warm.
this.
It's warm.
Yeah.
Got a fucking coat on.
I was going to
I
say,
know. Yeah.
She's got a fucking coat on. She's like, oh, it's done warm.
She's not showing the logo. Our official merch. No, we won't bring out official merch.
Oh my god.
It's not that
imagine.
big. You can tell it's warm. Jason's nipples aren't out.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you all and see you in season 2.
thank you.
Maybe see you in season 2.
Bye.
Don't forget, you can reach out to us or email in your dilemmas via email, pridecast@chesterpride.co.uk, drop us a DM on Twitter @ch1pride, or send in your message anonymously via our Curious Cat found on our Twitter. Chester Pride is produced by Studio 30,000.